If you are planning a Disney World vacation or thinking about planning a Disney World vacation, then you need to think about these 5 things because they're gonna cause that confusion and stress that you're feeling about planning this trip to go way down. Now, before we jump into the 5 things, if you are wanting to go into your Disney vacation with more confidence and less stress, go ahead and tap that red subscribe button, turn it from red to gray, and let's get you ready for that trip. Number 1 on this list is picking your resort. That is going to be really critical for planning your Disney vacation, is deciding where to stay. Disney World has a lot of resorts as well as there are a lot of off-property resorts, and deciding between the two is very critical. We are personally an on-property family, especially for your first time, or if you just want to simplify your trip, I would highly suggest staying on property. You get inside of that Disney bubble, you get the perks of the added transportation as bonuses. You don't have to worry about driving unless you want to, then you can definitely drive to the parks, but staying on property just adds another level of magic to your trip. So that would always be my suggestion. Now, which resorts to stay at can be a little bit of a confusing decision because there are so many different ones. You can decide based on your budget, you can decide based on transportation options that are offered to and from the parks. All of the resorts have transportation perks, but some of them are only limited to buses, while others have additional perks like the classic monorail, the Skyliner, or even water taxis. So looking into those things and finding out what the priorities are for you and your family. Do you really want to save money? Is that the most important thing for you? Or do you want to spend a little bit more, have a little better amenities, more dining options at your resort? It all just comes down to making the decision of which one is going to work best for your family. My top pick for each category is, if you are staying in the value category, would be Pop Century. You're gonna get the buses to Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom as well as Disney Springs and the water parks, but you get that added bonus of having the Skyliner to Hollywood Studios and Epcot, which is absolutely amazing. So having that nice little added transportation perk, while the Skyliner can get a line to it on an occasion, a lot of times it is pretty fast and it is a magical ride, so I can't recommend that one enough. In the moderate category, if you're looking at those, it would be a tie between French Quarter and Caribbean Beach. If you're wanting more transportation options, Caribbean Beach is going to be your girl with that. But if you want something that feels a little smaller, you don't have as much walking to do, it's not quite as sprawling, I would recommend Port Orleans French Quarter. Now, you are going to be limited to only buses here at this resort option, but you are going to be able to take the boat to Disney Springs, which is the shopping and dining district for Disney World, and it has tons of dining and tons of shopping. So if you're into that sort of thing, you want to have some off days that you're not going to the park, French Quarter is absolutely lovely. And then in the deluxe category, I would just completely skip the deluxe category and go deluxe villa. That's just my personal opinion. When staying with a deluxe villa versus a deluxe resort, you're going to not only potentially save money, I'm going to tell you how to do that in a second, but you're also going to be able to have a nicer room. You're going to have a kitchenette in it, where the resort rooms have a small beverage cooler and a coffee maker. With this, you're going to get an actual mini fridge, you get a microwave in your room, you get an extra bar sink. If you're traveling as a family, it is absolutely incredible, so I would highly recommend that. And if you're staying in that deluxe villa category, my 2 picks would be Saratoga Springs, which is over near Disney Springs, and Grand Floridian Villas. So those are my 2 picks for the deluxe villa category. The Saratoga Springs is a little more on the budget friendly side of things, but if you want that absolutely quintessential magical Disney and you want to splurge, Grand Floridian all the way. It is the crown jewel, in my opinion, of the Disney resorts. You have the monorail access to Magic Kingdom, as well as being able to hop over to Epcot on the monorail, so highly recommend those. But my favorite way, if you are going to be going the deluxe villa route and staying in a what is called a Disney Vacation Club resort, I would highly recommend using points and renting points for that. I will link the company that I love down below. It is DVC Rental Store. They have a very easy process to get a booking, whether it is one you can create your own and request the resort that you would like to stay at. Your dates can be specific, or you also have what's called confirmed reservations, so you can scroll through those and potentially book one of those if it works out for your travel dates. If you're a little more flexible, you can also save a lot of money that way. A lot of times, if I am looking at comparing a deluxe resort to a deluxe villa resort, I can get the deluxe villa for a significantly cheaper price. I saved almost $200 $40 booking a deluxe villa for our Grand Floridian night that I have coming up versus staying in the Grand Floridian hotel side. So that's a pretty good savings, plus you get a better room, and so I cannot recommend that enough. So again, I will have that link down below if you want to check out DVC rental store, but that's my little secret for saving when we do stay deluxe, because we stay a lot of value lately, a lot of moderate, we're more budget friendly, but when we do want to splurge, DVC rental store is how we go. Thing number 2 is to learn how to use Genie Plus. There's all kinds of drama surrounding Genie Plus because FastPass, which was the old paper system where you could go and you'd get a little ticket and you'd know when to go back. It was just a whole other system. It was completely free. So everybody's up in arms because, well, now Disney's charging for it. And yes, I completely share that frustration with you. I do not like paying for it, but hear me out. I do like how much smoother my days go. And currently it's on a bit of a sliding scale. So you may pay $24 in one season, but then over like spring break, you may pay $35. On Thanksgiving Day, Christmas week, you may pay $39. Like it's not hit 40 yet, I don't believe, but it's close. And I'm sure within the year, it probably will hit $40. Let's just be perfectly honest. It's gonna hit within that $40 range. And the sad fact is the more expensive it is, the more you need it. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news and also make your trip more expensive, but this is one thing, and this is kind of a personal opinion of mine. It's a little bit unpopular, but as far as your budget goes, I would take more from dining and doing more table service reservations, or even from staying deluxe. As much as I love that, I would take more money out of those pools and put it into having the budget to buy Genie Plus, especially if you're going for the very first time, if you're going and you've not been in a while, or if you just are going maybe even once a year. I would invest in Genie Plus because it's going to be able to save your family so much time in lines. It's going to make your days a lot smoother. And it's also, if you want to see and do a lot because you don't go very often, it's going to be a great way to be able to do that. Now, I know Genie Plus is absolutely insanely confusing. It's probably the most confusing part of your entire Disney vacation, to be perfectly honest, but I do have a step-by-step guide that I have created for you guys. So if you are interested in that, you can check out the link down below. You can purchase that one. If you use the code VIDEO, you will get 10% off of your purchase for that course. But it is literally a step-by-step bite-sized guide to Genie Plus, so you can actually enjoy using it and not feel like you wasted money. Because while yes, spending the $35 over spring break is very important and it will help you, you're gonna walk away from the experience feeling like you just threw money in the toilet if you don't know how to use it. I will have a link again to that course. It will step you through the buying, the booking process, when to book, how to stack, and how to maximize and actually get your money's worth out of it, because that's kind of the goal of the whole thing. Is a lot of times you do want to get your money's worth. So that will help you to do that and also craft an itinerary that your family is going to love. So please do some research. Do not wait until you arrive at your Disney resort to start thinking about Genie Plus, because honestly, it's the thing that's going to change your in-park experience and where you're spending your full day the most. Number 3 on this list is picking the right transportation to and from the airport. So if you are like us and you are flying to Disney, if you're not flying and you're driving, this is one thing you don't have to think about. But if you are flying to Disney World, how your vacation starts is important. And so you don't want it to start off with a long wait and then going on a parade of multiple resorts and things. We used to do that. I used to be very, oh, well, we need to save money, we need to budget. And while yes, it is very important to budget, also you want to have a good, enjoyable experience. And you don't want getting to your resort to be nothing but meltdowns for your kids, stress for you, and just utter chaos. So it can be as long as your flight getting just to your resort. So for us, we spend about an hour and a half in the air once we take off to touchdown from Nashville to Orlando. But we have spent over an hour and a half on buses and transportation trying to get to our hotel. So from now on, we use private transportation, and that is our favorite. My favorite company is this MCO to Disney. This is their website, and I will actually have a discount code with them that you can utilize, thepixiedustedmom. It will save you 10% off of your ride. I absolutely love them and love partnering with this company. They are absolutely incredible. They take such great care of my family, and I've heard from so many of you how they have taken such great care of you guys as well. They have complimentary car seats, so you don't have to worry about bringing those along with you. You can also, they will meet you at baggage claim to help get bags to the car, and just absolutely lovely to work with. Even we've had flight delays and cancellations and just drama, and they have been fantastic every step of the way. So I cannot recommend that enough. When you're considering how in the world you're gonna get from the airport to your Disney resort, I would always recommend private transportation. You're gonna get directly there, and it's just gonna be a lot less of a stressful experience. Coming off the plane, you just, let's grab our bags and let's get to the hotel. Number 4 is booking your dining. So this is really important for a lot of reasons, but especially if you have your heart set, or your family has their heart set on eating and dining at a specific location, going ahead and having that reservation is going to be imperative. With Disney, sometimes you can do walk-ups, and some of the lesser popular restaurants you can do walk-up availability, but a lot of times those, especially character dinings and things that sell out, it is a bit harder to do, and you also don't want to be left waiting around and maybe getting into the restaurant. So I would highly recommend going ahead and booking your dining. You can actually start booking your Disney dining at 60 days out from your check-in date if you're staying on property. So you can kind of just do the math and see, okay, this is gonna be 60 days out, and so you can actually book that at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you'll have to do a little bit of math there of figuring out the time difference if you're in a different time zone from Eastern Standard Time here in the United States. But going ahead and getting that booked is going to be very important. So that way it's one less thing you have to stress about while you're on vacation. You've already thought it through of, this is the restaurant we want to go to, this menu, it has multiple things on it that I would immediately order. And that's another tip, is to not book dining for restaurants that there's not something on the menu that you would immediately order or your family would immediately order. If you don't see anything that you're like, this looks okay, don't book there. Look for something that you're like, oh my gosh, that sounds delicious, I would look at that, or maybe that or that. And I was like, get something that has some options that your family is going to enjoy. Look at the kids menus. Most Disney restaurants have kids menus, but they kind of vary from ones to ones. Some of them are more Uncrustables and chicken nuggets, and then others are grilled chicken and special pastas, and depending on your child and what level of picky they may be on will vary greatly as to which one of these is going to fit best for your family. So do a little perusing of menus. If you are having a hard time getting your dining reservations, my secret tool to use is Mouse Dining. And I know I sound like I'm just recommending products here and there, but these are seriously game changers for being able to book your reservations and dining and knowing how to handle the parks. So Mouse Dining is my favorite. I will put a link to their site down below. You can sign up. It is $9 a month, and you can cancel at any time. It's on a monthly subscription that you're roped into for a long period of time. You don't have a contract period or anything like that. So it's just month to month. You can utilize it for the time that you need it, cancel it later, but it is seriously the best $9 that you will spend. You can go pick the restaurant, pick the time frame that you want, and it will send you text alerts when a reservation comes available, so you aren't having to sit and constantly, oh, I need to go look for that dining reservation, I need to check that again, and constantly on your phone checking, because you're probably a busy person that doesn't have tons of free time to just constantly check the Disney website. Well, on occasion that can be fun, and seeing what you find, it's kind of like an Easter egg hunt. After a while it gets a little tiring, and you're like, especially when you keep coming up empty. So I can't recommend that one enough, but going ahead and having your dining squared away before the trip is going to save you so much time. And number 5 is to check the forecast so you know what you're getting yourself into, kind of times of the year, as well as always prep for rain. So I like to use the website AccuWeather. Again, I will link them down below. I feel like I'm just doing nothing but linking stuff, but I will link this website. It is completely free to use. But you can kind of go through and look at a month by month kind of prediction, as well as the past year of, okay, what was the weather like in April? What was the weather like in July? And look at temperatures and be able to see, is that something that my family would enjoy, or is it something that we want to avoid? So you can kind of see what that was like, or or what it's predicted to be like as well. So highly recommend that, and always take the rain gear. I hear people say, oh, well, I don't want to go in the summer, or I don't want to go in September because that's rainy season. I hate to tell you, it can rain all year long. In the last year, we experienced more rain in December and January than I did in the summer months, which I know sounds crazy, but there were days in December when it was raining all day long, and it was cold and raining. So always, no matter what time of year you're going, if you're going in the rainy season or if you're not, always pack the rain gear. So that is the biggest tip for packing, is always pack that rain gear. You are going to need it, and it is going to be the most helpful thing for you. So cannot recommend kind of prepping for that enough, whether you are a rain jacket family or you want to go more of the reusable poncho route. They have some thicker ones. Now, please don't go to the Dollar Tree. Those are going to tear and rip, and it's a hassle. I feel like you're gonna go through those, and don't wait until you get to Disney and spend like really exorbitant amounts on their basically slightly nicer than the Dollar Tree ponchos, just because it has Mickey on it. Utilizing your own rain jacket or those really thick ponchos is gonna be the way to go. And also, don't forget the stroller rain cover. If you're traveling with kids, find either a universal one or one that specifically fits onto your stroller so that you can utilize that. But yeah, you're gonna want to prepare for rain. It's Florida. You may get it, and it's not quite the season for it. But I hope this video helped you, got you started on those basic building blocks and kind of foundation of creating and crafting your Disney vacation. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to click that red subscribe button and the like button if you did enjoy it. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.